Alright, today we're going to start Unit 5, so you should have a new circle. Make sure you cut out your new circle. And Unit 5 starts on page 57. So 57 should be blank for us. For me, it's on the right side of my notebook, so I'm going to take my circle, flip it over, put some glue on the blank half. Okay, see how this half is blank? I put it on the blank half on the back, and then I'm going to line it up with my page. See how the dotted line is lined up with my page? Okay. So back to our table of contents. Today we are on pages 57 and 58, so that's a big 5. And we are talking about Algebra Vocab. Algebra Vocab. Okay, so going back to page 57, you should have received a page that looks like this. We're going to cut it in half. This page is on 57. So we're going to glue that down. Remember, dot, dot, not a lot. We're going to title this Algebra Vocab. And the page number at the bottom is 57. Then our next page, we're going to glue down. And it is page 58. Okay, so today starts when we really do a lot of algebraic thinking. So there are a few things that we need to know. First, this 4 is called a coefficient, so we're going to write that down. C-O-E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. Coefficient. Okay, so I'm going to put a little star over here. A coefficient is the number in front of a variable. Section that off. A coefficient is the number in front of a variable. A variable, right here, is just an unknown number. If we don't know what the number is, we substitute it in with a letter. Usually it's X or N, but it can be any letter in the alphabet. This last 12 is called a constant. That just means it's a number. Numbers never change. That's why we call them constants. Now this, as a whole, is called an expression. An expression does not have an equal sign. So we're going to write no equal sign in parentheses. Then inside of our expression, we have 4m, which is a coefficient and a variable, and that's called a term. And then 12, our constant, is called a term. There are two terms inside of our expression. Now I want you to make another star. Terms are separated by plus signs, minus signs, or equal signs. So I'm going to bubble that in. Terms are separated by a plus sign, a minus sign, or an equal sign. See how there's a plus sign right here? That separates 4m from 12. So that means that there are two terms. Okay, just as a review, our coefficient is 4, our variable is m, and our constant is 12. Okay, very similar down at the bottom. We have a coefficient of 2. Our variable is n. Five is a constant. And 7 is a constant. Now, just like what we said up here, terms are separated by plus, minus, or equal. You can see you've got a minus and an equal, so it's separating the three terms. So we've got term, term, and term. So we talked about before that an expression does not have an equal sign, but we have an equal sign. So when we do have an equal sign, it's called an equation. An equation has an equal sign. I like to remember equation, E-Q-U-A, and equal, E-Q-U-A-L, both start with the first 4 letters. They're the same. Equation, equal. Okay, so to review, our coefficient is 2, our variable was n, and we had 2 constants, 5 and 7. Okay, next page. Okay, I've got some equations and expressions in a stack over here. I'm going to pull them up and we're going to decide if they are expressions or equations. Our first one. 8p plus 19. Is that an expression or an equation? It's an expression. It has no equal sign. So we're going to write 8p plus 19. Next we have 47 equals t minus 23. Is that an expression or equation? It has an equal sign, so it is an equation. Next, we have 6x equals 48. Is that an expression or an equation? It has an equal sign, so it is an equation. Next, we have 4n minus 7. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an expression. It has no equal sign. Next, we have box minus 87. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an expression because it doesn't have an equal sign. This box is also a variable. Usually in math at this age, all of our variables are letters. In elementary school, they were more of boxes. You guys have seen these a lot. A lot of times it would say box minus 87 equals 100. What is box? So you guys have already seen variables that look like this. Now we're just getting more sophisticated and we're usually seeing it as letters. But it's still a variable and this is still an expression. Box minus 87. (3r plus 15 equals 87. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an equation. It has an equal sign. 3r plus 15 equals 87. Next, we have 7 plus r. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an expression. It does not have an equal sign. Next we have y plus 5 equals 9. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an equation because it has an equal sign. Next we have 86 minus q equals 19. Is that an expression or an equation? It is an equation because it has an equal sign. And last, 23 minus 2x. Is it an expression or an equation? It is an expression because it does not have an equal sign. All right, that's our lesson for today.